Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha if you're brand new here, and today I'm going to be sharing and comparing. I'm going to be sharing the brand new Mega Conceal Concealer from Obsession, Makeup Obsession, and I'm going to be comparing it against the Revolution Conceal and Define. Now, I know that a lot of you have this product, but of course I want to share with you a brand new product from Obsession, which is obviously the sister brand to Revolution. But I know if I share this with you, I'm going to get questions saying how does it compare against the Conceal and Define. So I thought I would share that all in one video for you. Now this one I picked up from Boots, the actual store, not boots.com. You can, of course, if you're within the UK, purchase Obsession from either Boots stores or boots.com. Alternatively, if you're outside of the UK, you can pick this up from revolutionbeauty.com, of course, and all links will be down below. But I picked it up in the shade 06. Not quite sure if it's going to suit my skin tone. We will find out in a moment. I do find that under the bright lights of the stores that it's quite difficult. Of course, I could have gone outside, but I was in a little bit of a rush that day. It was Saturday, very busy, so I just picked up 06. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this will match me. Now, of course, in the Conceal and Define, I am C4, and of course, I hope I mentioned this. This was £7. The super-sized concealer from Revolution Beauty is also £7, but you can pick this up in the smaller version for £4. So yeah, both of these are £7, which is obviously, you know, it's under £10, so good. Obviously the Revolution Conceal and Define is my holy grail. I have used it ever since it released, and I know that it has gone kind of viral. It's a product that is viral, I suppose. It's worldwide now, isn't it? And there's a lot of talk about this product. So how is this going to compare against it? Because I know this is a favourite for a lot of people. So yeah, let's get into it anyway. I'm just going to pop my hair back. And I'm using this. I get a lot of comments about this. You can actually pick this up, if I can get it the right way, that is, from New Look. There's also a black version of these little lace ears as well. Now, of course, I've applied my brows, as you can see, and I've applied my eyeshadow. All products that I'm using today will be listed down below for you. So let's start off with the Revolution Conceal and Define. Now, of course, you've all seen me apply this so many times because it is my holy grail. Let me get my mirror so I can actually see my face. So I'll put the Conceal and Define this side. Let's just pop the lid on. And I always just, if I pat it, I don't know why, but if I pat it here and then I slide it across. If I don't slide it, it just doesn't cover and apply very well. So that's how I apply. I'm just going to pop a little bit in that dark corner there. So that's the Conceal and Define. Now we're going into the Obsession Mega Conceal. So like I say, it's 06. Let's have a look around this product first before I start applying it. So basically you have a glass container with a plastic white lid. You've got Makeup Obsession in black, and then you have the Mega Conceal Concealer with a long wear concealer with caffeine. No, that's in French, so I won't even yeah, so it says long wear concealer with caffeine on the front, so I really like the idea of that. You are getting a net weight of 0.44 fluid ounces or 13 ml of product there. So, you know, relatively a good amount of product. So let's undo the lid, which is a screw top. And then, oh, that was a little bit difficult. Oh, wow. Look at this. I remember it now. I forgot. I've not even tried this product. I tested it in store and I remember having the same kind of, you know, wow when I looked at the applicator there. It's quite wide. Let me just get the Conceal and Define. It reminds me of a little bit of a spoon because it has a shape to it. You can see that it has an arch. Let me just pop that down so we can look at these, because I really do like the Conceal and Define. So the Conceal and Define, that large doe foot there, and then you've got the Obsession there, which is like, I don't know, is it like a golf club? But that's what it reminds me of anyway. So perhaps it's going to work beautifully under the eye. We'll see. But anyway, it's got the same kind of like, I don't know, material over it as, you know, a regular doe foot, or as the Conceal and Define does. But yeah, wow. Let's apply. Really like how it applies. It really goes in there quite nicely, like that. Okay, doesn't scratch at the eye. It's really soft, so I really like the design of that applicator. Let's go in now and apply this. Now, when I apply it, it doesn't feel, the consistency is not as thick as the Conceal and Define. It's a little bit less thick, and it seems a little bit more of a liquid formula as well. It glides onto the eye. I'm going to do the same thing. I don't really like dragging my under eye, but that is the only way that I can get a concealer to, you know, really go into all of those places that I want them to. Okay, so that's both. I'm not, in fact, I think I've done quite well with the shade. It looks very, very similar to the Conceal and Define. I think the Conceal and Define looks a little bit more pink, but that could be because it's dried down a little bit. Now, of course, I have got the, next I'm going to apply the Revolution Pro, or am I? No, what I'm going to do is apply my foundation next, I think. Otherwise, I'm just going to set the eyes and nothing else. So of course I am using the Revolution Conceal and Define foundation in the shade F4. Absolutely love this. I don't think I'm ever going to swap foundations, liquid foundations anyway. Just do a little bit there. I don't want to go all the way down my neck because of my top. Of course, I'm using one of my kabuki brushes. This is an angled kabuki that I picked up from eBay. If you just pop into the eBay search, foundation kabuki, you will find sets of these, and you can purchase them singularly as well. So I'm just going to start tapping that product in. Actually, this is going to give me a good sense of how quickly this sets, because what I don't want, I always put my makeup on like this. I don't want a concealer to necessarily, you know, set completely, because obviously I'm going to apply foundation, like I say, and I want the time to do that. And Conceal and Define really works. I can manipulate it afterwards in a little while as well. So I'm very, very carefully going around the brows. I think I need a little bit more product on the nose there. Carefully between the brows. You can definitely see that my face now looks very one-dimensional. Okay. But I think the concealer from Obsession 06 matches very, very well with C4 from the Revolution Conceal and Define. So if you use F4, then 06 should work perfectly, because it certainly has for me. As you can see, I would be able to go out and about and nobody would notice that I'm wearing two different concealers. Okay, what I'm going to do is just pat my Revolution Conceal and Define into place, which I always have to do, if I can get my English right. And then what I'm going to do is use my Real Techniques contour brush just to apply a little bit of the powder foundation. I'm showing you this because my powder foundation, I'm still using the one, whoops, that was damaged. So I've got actually halfway through it. I'm using it up quite quickly. Just because obviously it's loose powder rather than set. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that underneath. I have used nothing else to set my makeup since I purchased that because I love it so much. I'll do this side completely, I think. I just go over it just to set my makeup, and I really love that powder foundation. It really does set my face, but it also makes it look you know, much more airbrushed and finished. And also, if you've got oily skin like me, it makes my foundation last. Not that the Conceal and Define didn't last, but it just makes it last even better. Okay, so that's one side applied. So now I'm just going to pat into place the Obsession. What I will say is that it has creased and worked exactly like the Conceal and Define. So the Conceal and Define always creases a little bit under the eye while I'm applying the makeup. It just, you know, does that. And then obviously a little bit more of the powder foundation to set that in place. Like that. And then of course I'm just going to set my makeup on this side. Like that. So I've still got a little bit of a sheen to my skin, but it, you know, it is completely finished. Now we're going to go into the bronzer, something else that I'm obsessed with from Revolution. All they need to do now is come out with some amazing matte blushes, and that's it for me. I will never purchase from another brand. This one has got makeup on it, but it is the Revolution Reloaded bronzer in Holiday Romance. I am obsessed with this. It is absolutely beautiful. The colour is gorgeous. The glow of it is gorgeous. I'm going to apply it using my NYX fan brush as always. Oh, I just love it. I've used it again every single day since I received it. Love it. Absolutely love it so much. Initially I thought the medium shade would work better for me, but I haven't actually had to use that. I think on camera I was a little bit concerned that you couldn't see how it was applying, but actually it works beautifully, and over the powder foundation I can now just buff my product into place because my makeup is now all set and it doesn't drag my skin. But absolutely love this bronzer. It is just so beautiful, and the glow that you get from it, it really makes me feel, you know, like summer is here. And it gives you that nice sheen. There's no glitter in this as well either. Just love it. Okay, now the other side. So there's no fallout from these bronzers. They are just beautiful. And believe me, I would know about fallout. I've got the powder foundation, which of course, if you saw that video, you will know that mine, I ordered it from Superdrug and it arrived damaged. So they were really kind enough to send me a replacement, but I can still use it. It's just smashed to smithereens, but it is kind of messy. Obviously if you get one, it won't be messy. It's just because mine is like, you know, loose powder. Now I do like quite a lot of bronzer on my face, but you can see it's just, I don't know, you can put a lot on and it just gives you that beautiful colour. You can build it up without it looking, you know, really heavy. Oh, just love it. I'll put it everywhere. And it just gives you that perfect glow. Oh, I love it. Obsessed. Anyway, that's enough of the bronzer. I'm going to apply a little bit of blush. Now I do like this blush, but I prefer single blushes. This is a Revolution blush palette called Hot Spice. Like I say, I do love it. I really, really like this blush palette, but I just prefer single blushes. I don't know why, it's just my personal preference, and I'm going to go into bottom second. So for you it's obviously not, because I've got it upside down, but it's the bottom second across. So I'm using the Wilko blush brush, and I'm just going to tap that into place. Just gorgeous. And I've already got a glow to my skin. I don't need to apply a highlight because that bronzer just gives me a beautiful glow. What I'm going to do is just get my foundation brush and just pat around the edge there, just to blend that in a little bit more, like that. Although I do look better when I've got blush on. I just look like I'm awake, basically. Okay, so that is the face complete. Now what I'm going to do is just finish off the eyes, and then I think I probably have given the concealer enough time to have settled completely, probably moved a little bit, and we'll see how it works against the Conceal and Define. So of course I'm using my eye contour brush. You can see it's got a lot of eyeshadow on that I've already applied. And what shall I go in with? I started off with Flawless, didn't I? Now the eyeshadow palette that I am wearing today is, I think, probably a lot of people's obsession at the moment, and it is the Revolution Forever Flawless eyeshadow palette in Optimum. I mean, this is just perfect. I didn't think I was going to like this palette as much as I do, but it's different. I think Revolution did such an amazing job with these 4 new palettes. I've got a little bit of plum on there as well, which I used a lot of Own. I'll go through the shades that I used in a moment, but it's going over the Obsession concealer very, very well. I'm just going to add a little bit of Own, which is that burgundy shade. Okay, so I started off with Flawless for this look, which is that shade there. Now it looks quite neutral in the pan, but it's actually got a little bit of a pink undertone. So I used that to start off with. Then I went in with this beautiful shade called Own. Absolutely, well, stunning. One of the standout shades from this palette. It is gorgeous, as you can see. Then I went in with, on the lid, I started off with the shade Choice. I was really intrigued to see how that one would apply, but actually I wanted a little bit more, and I thought, I'm going to try Mineral out again, which is that like, I don't know, is it moss green? It's a very unusual eyeshadow colour, and I went in with that over the top, and it's created this beautiful pink look, but it's much more than Choice. So I was really intrigued to you know, try that shade, but actually with Mineral over the top, it looks beautiful. Outstanding eyeshadows. I think that's enough under the eye. Now I'm going to swap to the 250 pencil and powder smudge brush from Primark, and I'm going into Peak, which is this shade here. Beautiful. It's champagne with a little bit of pinky peach to it, and I'm just going to finish off the inner corner. Works beautifully with a brush. I'm not sure if I've used this one before, I've forgotten, because if you've been keeping up with my videos, you will see that I have created a lot of looks recently using a lot of new eyeshadow palettes, and I think I may have used Peak before, and I'm not even sure if it worked with a brush, but now, whether it was just the top layer was a little bit dry, not sure, but it's going on beautifully with that brush. What I will say about these eyeshadows, and I suppose I'm rating a lot of these products, if you haven't tried these brand new eyeshadows. These were sent to me, but they only launched yesterday. They were sent to me a week, 10 days ago now, I think. It seems like forever ago, but they only launched, you know, properly. Revolution only launched them properly yesterday. But if you haven't tried them, I would certainly try them. Like I say, there's 4 to collect, and I have all 4 palettes tested already. So that is my look so far. What I will say is that the eyeshadow really went on smooth underneath the eye very easily. Obviously I will save that until the end. Now I've got one lipstick in here to apply with this look. This is something else I'm obsessed with. I suppose I'm using all of the products that I'm obsessed with. Revolution, well, they just keep getting better and better. I'm using the matte lip in Chauffeur. Oh my goodness, I really want the whole collection of these to share with you now, because the 5 that I've already got, I haven't worn another lipstick since I bought these. I just absolutely love it. And if you want a matte lip that lasts all day, look no further than these, and these are only £5 each. Okay, let's apply Chauffeur. I love brunch as well. In fact, I love all of the shades. The only one that I'm not 100% on is Dollhouse, just because it's very, very deep, and I do love a good nude. Absolutely outstanding lipstick. Beautiful. Okay, so I can take my hair down now and just zhuzh it up a little bit. So that is my completed look. I suppose this was a bit of a get ready with me as well. My hair's even wilder than usual. Anyway, what I'm now going to do is give you my review and my thoughts as to, you know, what I think to this product, I suppose. So when I actually look in the mirror, I cannot see that there's a difference. So I'm really, really thrilled that I did in fact pick up the right shade. So I'll just repeat it. I picked up 06. I hope you can see that. And I am C4 in the Conceal and Define. I hope you can see that. So yeah, if you are C4 and you want to test this concealer out, yeah, then 06 is your shade. I absolutely love the doe foot applicator in the Conceal and Define. I find that it's a one swipe application, and that is what I really wanted from a concealer. None of this dotting it about, just slide it on the eye, pat it into place, you're done. And I'm really, really thrilled that not only has this got a huge applicator, this one is even wider. I even struggled to actually get it out of the, you know, I have to wiggle it to get it out. This is even wider. So if you love a wide applicator and you like that one swipe application, you will love this applicator. I really, really like it. It doesn't pick up too much either. You don't have to wipe it off. It just picks up enough for you to swipe underneath. Really, really enjoyed the applicator. Also really like the packaging. It's clean, it's professional. It is, you know, it goes quite well with the other brand products that you get from Obsession. So if you like their other, you know, packaging, you're going to like this. Price point, really like the price point. I think that anything under £10 for a concealer is pretty good. I mean, it's under £10, but it's just over obviously £5. So I think it is still pretty affordable. I'm just going to have a look actually at the amount. So the net weight with the Conceal and Define for £7 is 0.45. So with the Obsession, you're just getting you know, slightly less with 0.44, but it's still saying 13 grams of product in each. So for £7, you're getting relatively the same amount of product. Shade range, I did struggle because I found it very easy, and I do find it very easy with other Revolution products, you know, with I don't know, the new Revolution Pro powder foundation, that's P4 for me. The foundations are always F4 and the concealers are C4. So it would have been nice if they kept that ongoing throughout Obsession as well, because obviously Revolution Pro is a sister brand to Revolution, and so is Obsession. So I wish that they had carried that on, but obviously, you know, it is what it is, and I luckily enough still found my shade. It was a fluke because I actually tried on quite a few. And like I say, it was a busy Saturday afternoon in Boots. So I was really pleased with that. So now looking into how I think it looks on the skin. So the application was, you know, perfect. It still creased a little bit, just like the Conceal and Define does. So when I apply the Conceal and Define, I have to pat it out twice, you know, once when I'm actually applying it, and then once I've applied my foundation, again I go in with my ring finger, because that's the light, that one gives the lightest pressure, if I can get my words out, and just go in and pat that out, and then set it immediately without trying to move my face again, and that works beautifully. And again, I've had to do that with the Obsession. What I will say is that the Conceal and Define is a little bit thicker. It's a thicker consistency, and it feels thicker, you know, when you're applying it. The Obsession feels a little bit more liquidy, and it feels like you've got less product under the eye, but it still does crease a little bit. I'm not saying that it creases a lot. I've now got a few lines under my eyes. Obviously I will do. I'm 50 this year, so I'm expecting it, but nothing major. It still looks fairly flawless when I'm looking into the camera, and it also gives me that, it gives me the coverage, but it also it's not so I don't know, gives me too much cover that it looks fake on me, if you know what I mean, you know, too much. So I really enjoy how it looks. So to be honest, I think if you don't like the Conceal and Define because you don't like that thick consistency, then this may be an alternative, because even though it's a little bit thinner, a little bit more liquidy, it still gives that coverage. So it still gives the same coverage, but it's not as thick as this. And I know a few of you have contacted me because you don't like that thick feeling under the eye, so this could be an alternative for you. The eyeshadow, when I applied it using a brush underneath the eye, it just glided on. I must say that once it's set, it feels beautiful, very powdery. Sometimes I do get a little bit of dragging with the Conceal and Define, but I love that not foundation, concealer so much, you know, that it is absolutely fine. And once I usually put like the lightest colour on first with the Conceal and Define, just to give me a base, but with the Obsession one you don't need to do that. It felt very set, very like a powder, you know, that kind of consistency, because obviously I set it, so it does feel very smooth under the eye, and yeah, I really like it. Absolutely beautiful, looks great, looks like everything that I want from a concealer. It covers what I want without looking cakey and looking fake. Obviously I know I look like I'm wearing makeup, but I don't want to look I suppose I like a full coverage foundation and I like a full coverage concealer, and I know obviously I look like I'm wearing makeup, but I don't like that over the top fake look. You can still see some of my freckles, I suppose, coming through, and a few little things coming through. That is natural, but that is how I like to look. You know, I could obviously build it up, but that, you know, it covers everything, but I still look like me, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, really enjoy the Mega Conceal Concealer. I must say that it feels beautiful. You know, I can move my face, it doesn't feel like I'm caked. Yeah, really enjoying it. So if you don't like the Revolution Conceal and Define for the reasons that I've stipulated in the video, you may want to try this. Also, if you like the Conceal and Define, you may also want to try this, because it feels and looks very, very similar on the eye, apart from this one is a little bit thinner than this one. Okay, inconsistency. But yeah, really, really like that, and you certainly wouldn't or couldn't see that I'm wearing two different concealers. Obviously, if you can, let me know. Okay, so I'd love your thoughts today with the concealers that I have shared and I have compared. So I would love that information from you today, your feedback, you know, on how you think each one looks. Perhaps you can let me know if you feel that the Revolution is better than the Obsession, or do you think the Obsession is better than the Revolution? I would love your thoughts on that. And of course, if you have just stumbled across my channel because you have been searching for a you know, a review on this product, then I would love it if you stayed around and subscribe to my channel to watch further videos. But as always, until tomorrow, thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye.